So, just sit back and relax, my lord, because it's time for you to meet today's eligible bachelorettes. And here they are. Bachelorette number one. Please welcome
Intellectual peace.
Bachelorette number two. Give it up for.
Spiritual peace.
But last, at least, Bachelorette number three.
Emotional peace.
So, will it be Bachelorette number one, Bachelorette number two, or Bachelorette number three? Okay. Number three.
Lord Viewer.
You've chosen
Emotional peace. Great choice.
What's up, Bulldogs? I'm back again, and today I'm going to get straight into it. I'm going to speak to you on emotional peace. This video is slightly different to the few others I've done in this series because it is dedicated to one of my friends who shall be called REEF for the purposes of this video. Emotional peace is the last and least of the three types of peace that I've been speaking to you about, but it is by no means unimportant. Wherever your emotions are, there is always information. I'm not going to be dilly-dallying around in this video, guys. I'm just going to get straight into it, and I'm going to split it up into three parts. First of all, I'm going to tell you what I think emotional peace is, to me personally. Then I'm going to link it to intellectual and spiritual peace, and tell you how, or give some examples of some ways that our emotional peace can be negatively influenced, and then I will use emotional and intellectual peace and show you how you can use those two to help with your emotional peace. But I have to say this as a little bit of a disclaimer. You cannot actually control your emotions as much as what you think. You can control your mind very well, actively. If I tell you right now to think of, I don't know, the ugly naked guy from the show Friends, you're probably not going to do that because it's a choice. You can control your mind. But if you're waking up in a bad mood and you try and force yourself to be happy, well, you just can't do it. You can use your mind, and you can go back to your spiritual base, like that being, of course, your beliefs and your principles, those sorts of things we spoke about, to try and influence your emotions. But that doesn't mean whatever negative emotion is there is going to go away. You may just have to sit with it. But that's very rare. If you go about it in the right way, intellectual and spiritual peace will usually give you emotional peace. But there's some times where you just have to push through it. That's something I'm learning, and it is incredibly invaluable. So emotional peace for me is, first of all, a lack of any negative emotions or feelings in my body, not including pain. Pain can be there, and I can still be emotionally at peace depending on what kind of pain it is and how long I've been in that pain. It is a feeling of contentment. It's a calm presence, and it's like a mindfulness in the body, right? That's why I would say emotional peace is, to me, the best way I can explain it is if I meditate and I become very, very present within my body. That is the best way I can describe emotional peace to you. So if you guys get into full body meditation and you do it to the point where, like, you can feel your body being heavy, right? That you're experiencing what I would call emotional peace. You're just there in the moment and there's nothing else. You're essentially completely calm. But there is a lot of ways this emotional peace can be disturbed. Sometimes you can, like my friend Reef, right? He told me that a lot of the times he wakens up with no discernible reason, with an angry feeling, right? He just wakens up in a bit of a mood, and there could be something subconsciously going on there about having to go through the day, not being sure what's going on, not really feeling like he can be bothered. At the same time, it is just, if you objectify feelings like that and get curious about it, this isn't angry feeling. What exactly does that feel like? Because if you say someone, what's it feel like to be angry, they usually give you thoughts and conceptions. and there's no feeling that's really associated with the mind. That's all in the body. So you maybe feel hot flush on the back of your neck, tension in your belly, stiffness in the shoulders, just for example. And if you objectify things like that, they become a lot easier to deal with. A lack of intellectual peace can be a great disturbance in our emotional peace. If you have worries, anxieties, any negative thoughts, any demonic thoughts coming in that you're listening to, that can very easily creep into your body. And that's really dangerous because the body is the root of the subconscious. And the subconscious is where pretty much all of your decisions, beliefs, concepts come from. And pretty much the way we live our lives is dictated by the state of our subconscious. So if you have negative feelings in that reaching its way in there, this is why trauma is really bad if you don't deal with it, because it then starts to rule your life from behind the scenes, you see. And you're not aware of it because it's subconscious, right? Self-explanatory, it's in the name. So that's one thing. A lack of spiritual peace is another. If you're going through some kind of a dark time and you don't see a way out, like a depressed person, for example, who's feeling suicidal, if they see a light at the end of the tunnel, if they can imagine life being better, it's often terrifying because it means they have to go through all the nonsense and all the trash of daily life in order to get there. Speaking from experience, it's entirely worth it though, always, no matter how bad it is. If you have a lack of spiritual peace when it comes to prosperity as well, if things are going great and you're not able to sit and accept it, or if you start to get attached to your circumstances and the good things in your life, that can produce a lack of emotional peace because you can then start to worry about losing it. See what I mean? And in order to combat this, the very first thing you have to do is make sure you're spiritually at peace. Just the other day, it was about a week ago, last Saturday, I'd been working at the hotel I worked at, and I was cleaning the fridges. And there's quite a lot of fridges to be done, and the chefs seem to be super quick at doing it. And even going as fast as I can, I still wasn't able to get all of them done, and I was frustrated with myself because I hadn't gotten all of it done. And I came back home, and I heard, I think, I just started playing my music, and one of my songs came on that reminded me that, you know, I do so many other good things. I tried. I did my best. I actually did clean the fridges quite well. They even told me that. And in the end, my life, those fridges, this entire planet, this universe is going to end one day. And I'll be in a better place. And I'll be perfect by that point. So that spiritual peace reminded me that there's really nothing for me to even feel bad about. It's okay to feel that way, but it's not even logical. That's what it reminded me of. And it gave me this feeling of calm. I gained some emotional peace from it. Using intellectual peace is another thing you can use. Changing the way that you think, changing the way that you view things can give you a lot of emotional peace. The problem with that, though, is sometimes the way you're looking at things. Let's say someone's done something nasty to you, and rightfully so, you feel attacked or hurt or victimized, right? I'm not a fan of that victim mindset, but it can seem logical sometimes because if people are intending to attack you and you know that, it's kind of like, oh, well, this seems logical then. But you can still choose to think of it differently. And if that, it's much better we have effective beliefs rather than true beliefs. Because it might be a true belief that somebody's attacked you or done something bad, but it's just not giving you any peace at all. It's taking it away, so it's not very effective. A more effective belief is, if I steal John Sonmez's words here, is to think of them as some fool or idiot that is completely naive, has no idea what they're doing. You can even imagine them as a simulation, and they're just an NPC, right? A non-player character. They just are going by their code. Most people are actually. One of the expectations I have nowadays is a lack of expecting people to make good choices in spite of their behavior or their nature. I mean, for example, there's a family member of mine that is this family member like never seems to consider food that they see lying around if it belongs to anyone else. There's been multiple times where we went to have a movie night, right? So it's a close family member, and I went to pick up my chocolate, right? Because obviously you get sweets for a movie night. The chocolate was gone. Why? Because this family member had seen it and thought, "Ooh, chocolate. I'm not going to think if it belongs to anyone else. I'm just going to take it." This was an adult in the family as well. So, I mean, we're all adults here, right? We know that's wrong, especially when you have younger people to set an example to. That's terrible. But I let go of expecting someone to make a choice in spite of the way that they feel, because they might not, and it takes strength to do that. If you have low expectations of people, better none, but sometimes impossible there. So if you have low expectations of people, then a lot of the times they should exceed it, and everything becomes a blessing to you. This video was tracked on a little bit longer than what I thought I would, honestly, but that's fine. I hope I've given you all some value through this, and there's a lot more to be spoken about. That is the 3 basic videos done about intellectual, spiritual, and now emotional peace. I've decided, in fact, I probably decided that quite early on, that I'm going to continue this series. I don't know if it's going to be at the same rate, but I want to continue with this series as well. I want to go more in depth with you all, and I want to give you all as much value as I can. So thanks again for watching. Just leave a comment in the Facebook comment section, or on YouTube if I've given you a link to this unlisted. Then one there, and just let me know if there's anything you want to speak to me about regarding it. And I hope especially that this helped my friend Reef. And I shall see you all, with that being said, in my next video, whatever it may be. Leave a comment if you have any ideas. Cheers.